Awakening within, the journey to true freedom. Have you ever asked yourself, who am I beneath the expectations, beyond the judgments of others? In the quiet moments when the world's noise fades away, does your heart feel free or weighed down by the invisible chains of approval, fear, and comparison? The Buddha once taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. This profound truth invites us to turn our gaze inward, away from the restless chatter of the outside world, and into the vast, uncharted territory of our own inner landscape. It is here, in this sacred space, that true freedom awaits. The weight of external influence. In our modern lives, bombarded by constant messages, opinions, and the pressure to conform, it is easy to lose ourselves. Like a leaf caught in a storm, we are tossed by the winds of other people's judgments, expectations, and fleeting approval. The paradox is painful. We seek happiness and validation outside, yet find only temporary relief, a mirage that fades with the setting sun. Scientific studies of the brain reveal that our neural circuits are profoundly shaped by social interactions. The desire for acceptance lights up reward centers in our minds, creating habits of external dependence. Yet, this reliance often seeds anxiety, disappointment, and loss of authentic selfhood. Buddhism, with its ancient wisdom, offers a compass to navigate these inner storms, a path to disentangle from dependency and cultivate unshakable peace. A story of liberation. Let me share with you the story of Ananda, a young seeker who, like many of us, wrestled with the weight of expectations. For years, Ananda measured his worth by others' approval, chasing praise that always seemed just out of reach. His mind was a battleground of fear and striving, leaving him exhausted and hollow. One day, guided by the teachings of the Buddha, Ananda began to practice turning inward. Sitting quietly in meditation, he observed the restless waves of his thoughts, the pull of desires and fears. Gradually, he saw clearly that the approval he sought was but a shadow, flickering and unstable. In embracing solitude and self-reflection, Ananda found a stillness deep as the ocean, a peace untouched by applause or rejection. This peace became his true home, a sanctuary no storm could shake. His heart grew lighter, his actions more compassionate, and his life richer with meaning. The path ahead. This journey from dependence to freedom is neither quick nor easy. It asks of us courage to face the shadows within, patience to unlearn old habits, and kindness to nurture the fragile buds of self-acceptance. In the coming chapters, we will explore 10 transformative Buddhist teachings that illuminate this path. Each lesson bridges the timeless wisdom of the Buddha with insights from modern psychology and neuroscience, revealing practical tools to help you reclaim your peace and live authentically. We will walk through understanding the roots of our suffering, embracing solitude, releasing the need for external validation, and cultivating gratitude. You will learn how to set healthy boundaries, focus on what you can control, and most importantly, nurture your own growth beyond the gaze of others. An invitation. As you listen and reflect, I invite you to open your heart with curiosity and gentleness. Imagine yourself as a traveler stepping onto a path winding through a serene forest, sunlight filtering softly through the leaves. Each step brings you closer to a deeper knowing. That peace is not a distant goal, but a seed planted within you, waiting patiently to bloom. May this teaching be a lantern to guide you through the complexities of modern life. May it inspire you to stand firmly in your own truth and walk forward with grace and courage. Let us begin. The unseen chains, how external influence shapes and binds us. In the quiet sanctuary of our mind, far beyond the clamor of daily life, there lies a subtle but powerful force, the yearning for approval. It is an invisible thread, weaving itself into the fabric of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. From the moment we awaken to the world, we are conditioned, by family, society, and culture to seek validation, to align ourselves with the gaze of others. But have you ever paused to ask, who am I beneath this endless desire to be seen and accepted? The tale of the masked dancer. There is an ancient Buddhist parable that tells of a dancer who performed nightly before a vast crowd. She wore a radiant mask, crafted with care to hide her true face. Her dance was flawless, earning the applause and admiration she so deeply craved. Yet, alone in the darkness backstage, she wept silently. For beneath the mask, she felt lost, disconnected from the essence of her being. This story mirrors our human condition. Like the dancer, many of us present a facade shaped by others' expectations, smiling when we wish to cry, conforming when we long to express our truth. But the Buddha reminds us that true freedom is not found in the mask, but in the courage to reveal and embrace our authentic selves. Neuroscience of validation. Modern science offers illuminating insights into this struggle. Studies in neuroscience reveal that social approval activates the brain's reward system. The release of dopamine floods us with temporary pleasure, reinforcing behaviors aimed at gaining acceptance. Yet, this neural feedback loop can become a trap, fostering dependence on external praise and making us vulnerable to rejection and anxiety. The Buddhist teaching that peace comes from within aligns closely with these findings. It suggests cultivating a mind independent of fleeting external rewards, developing what psychology calls intrinsic motivation, where fulfillment arises from self-alignment and personal values rather than others' judgments. The weight of others' opinions. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones, each stone a critical comment, a disapproving glance, a whispered rumor. At first, the weight is barely noticeable, but over time, it drags you down, sapping energy and dimming your spirit. This burden of external opinion stifles creativity, breeds fear, and clouds our inner compass. The Buddha's wisdom shines a light on this predicament, teaching us to discern which opinions merit attention and which are but passing clouds. When we cling too tightly to others' views, we relinquish control over our peace. We hand over the key to our happiness, unknowingly becoming prisoners of public perception. Finding solace in solitude. Solitude, far from being loneliness, is a sacred refuge. It is in solitude that we meet ourselves, our fears, hopes, and the pure core of our being. The Buddha counseled his disciples to be quiet, do your work with mastery, emphasizing that personal growth flourishes in moments of stillness away from external noise. Consider Ananda once more, who chose to sit quietly in meditation each day, observing the ebb and flow of thoughts without judgment. This practice allowed him to detach from the chaos of social pressures and discover a wellspring of calm and clarity. Psychological research supports the healing power of solitude, showing that mindful solitude enhances emotional regulation, boosts creativity, and reduces stress. It is the fertile soil where self-acceptance takes root. Breaking free, practical steps. How then can we loosen these invisible chains? First, by cultivating awareness. Noticing when we act out of fear of judgment rather than authentic desire. Practice mindfulness throughout your day. When you feel the impulse to seek approval, pause and ask, is this truly my path, or am I following a shadow? Second, nurture your relationship with yourself. Affirm your worth daily with kind words and compassionate thoughts. Embrace your imperfections as natural expressions of being human. Third, create sacred spaces of solitude, even if brief, to reconnect with your inner voice. It could be moments of mindful breathing, a walk in nature, or quiet reflection before sleep. The ripple effect. By reclaiming your peace and focusing on your authentic self, you radiate a quiet strength that touches others. You no longer seek validation. Instead, you inspire it. Your calm presence becomes a beacon, encouraging others to embark on their own journey inward. As science shows, emotional contagion spreads calm or chaos alike. Your inner transformation has the power to create waves of peace in your community and beyond. Awakening within, embracing self-acceptance and letting go. The journey inward is often marked by a profound awakening, a moment when the veil of seeking others' approval begins to lift and we catch a glimpse of our authentic self. This awakening is both gentle and powerful, like the first rays of dawn piercing through the night's darkness. The story of Gautami. There is a well-known story from the Buddha's teachings about Gautami, a young mother devastated by the loss of her child. Consumed by grief, she sought a cure for her sorrow, carrying her child's lifeless body from village to village. The Buddha told her to find a mustard seed from a household untouched by death. She soon realized that every family had experienced loss. In this recognition, Gautami found a universal truth: suffering and impermanence touch all lives. This realization sparked her awakening, an acceptance of life's transient nature and the birth of deep compassion. This story teaches us that self-acceptance is not passive resignation, but an embracing of life's impermanence, and with it, the courage to release attachments to expectations and judgments. The neuroscience of self-compassion. Modern psychology has begun to uncover the transformative power of self-compassion. Research by Dr. Kristen Neff and others shows that self-compassion activates brain regions associated with soothing and calmness, reducing stress and emotional reactivity. When we cultivate self-compassion, we begin to replace harsh self-criticism, often rooted in fear of others' disapproval, with kindness and understanding toward ourselves. This internal shift not only alleviates suffering but strengthens resilience, allowing us to face life's challenges with steadiness. Practical pathways to self-acceptance. Mindful observation of thoughts. Start by noticing your inner dialogue. Are your thoughts supportive or critical? Whenever you hear a harsh judgment, pause and reframe it with kindness. Loving kindness meditation. Dedicate moments each day to silently send love and goodwill to yourself and others. Repeat affirmations such as, "May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering." Journaling with gratitude. Reflect on your qualities and achievements. Write down things you appreciate about yourself. This nurtures a positive self-image grounded in reality, not comparison. The science of letting go. Holding on tightly, to past failures, to how others see us, to rigid self-concepts, activates the brain's fear centers, triggering stress responses. This chronic tension clouds judgment and fuels dissatisfaction. Neuroscience encourages practices that foster cognitive flexibility, the brain's ability to adapt thoughts and emotions. Letting go, a core Buddhist principle, is an act of cognitive flexibility that calms the mind and opens space for growth. Guided letting go practice. Imagine holding a handful of sand. As you squeeze, the grains slip away, no matter how tightly you hold. But if you open your hand gently, the sand remains. This image embodies the art of letting go, not forced abandonment, but gentle release. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Visualize what you are holding tightly: fear, anger, judgment. With each exhale, imagine loosening your grip, allowing these burdens to flow away. Affirm, "I release what no longer serves me. I welcome peace." The emotional liberation. Letting go does not erase pain or invalidate experiences. Instead, it liberates us from the chains of resentment, comparison, and insecurity. It cultivates emotional freedom, a space where true healing can occur. From awareness to transformation. This awakening moves us beyond mere awareness into transformation. It invites us to step into our power as creators of our inner world, no longer prisoners to external approval or inner critic. Each act of self-acceptance and letting go is a step toward a deeper serenity, a calm that persists regardless of external turmoil. Embodying wisdom, practical steps to cultivate inner peace and resilience. As the Buddha taught, wisdom is not simply knowing, but living what is known. Awareness alone cannot transform suffering unless accompanied by mindful action. This part invites us to embody the teachings of self-acceptance and letting go through concrete practices rooted in both ancient tradition and modern psychology. 1. Daily mindfulness rituals. Mindfulness anchors us in the present moment, breaking the chains of rumination about past regrets or future anxieties. Scientific studies reveal that even brief daily mindfulness practices can restructure neural pathways, enhancing emotional regulation and reducing stress hormones. Practice. Begin with 5 to 10 minutes each morning, focusing on your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. When thoughts arise, gently return attention to the breath without judgment. Benefit. This simple act builds mental clarity and prepares the mind to respond rather than react to life's challenges. 2. Setting compassionate boundaries. True peace often requires saying no, not out of selfishness, but self-respect. Buddhism teaches the middle way, avoiding extremes, including the extremes of overgiving or self-neglect. Practice. Reflect on situations where your peace is compromised by others' demands or expectations. Practice calmly and kindly asserting your limits. Example, imagine a friend asking for constant favors. Instead of automatic compliance, respond with gentle honesty. I want to support you, but I need to take care of my well-being too. Benefit. Boundaries preserve your energy, preventing resentment and burnout, and model healthy self-care for others. 3. Cultivating loving-kindness, metta, in action. While loving-kindness meditation nurtures compassion inwardly, extending this compassion outward strengthens social bonds and reduces feelings of isolation. Practice. During daily interactions, silently wish well for others, especially those who challenge you. Example, if faced with a difficult colleague, remind yourself, may you be happy, may you be free from suffering. Benefit. This practice softens hostility and opens pathways for empathy and forgiveness. 4. Embracing impermanence through reflective journaling. Writing is a powerful tool for insight and transformation. Journaling about impermanence helps integrate the understanding that all things, feelings, and situations are transient. Practice. Each evening, write about one experience where you observed change or impermanence. Reflect on how acceptance of this truth eased your mind. Benefit. This nurtures cognitive flexibility and resilience, equipping you to handle uncertainty with grace. 5. Developing emotional agility with cognitive reframing. Modern psychology highlights cognitive reframing as a technique to reinterpret challenging situations positively, reducing emotional distress. Practice. When anger or anxiety arise, pause and ask, how else can I view this situation? What lesson might it hold? Example, if criticized, instead of reacting defensively, consider, this feedback may help me grow. Benefit. This skill fosters equanimity and breaks habitual reactive patterns. 6. Building a supportive environment. The Buddha recognized the importance of community, sangha, in spiritual growth. Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals amplifies progress. Practice. Engage in groups or friendships that encourage mindfulness, compassion, and personal growth. Benefit. Social support bolsters motivation, provides accountability, and reduces feelings of loneliness. 7. Integrating science and spirit, biofeedback, and meditation. Technological advances offer tools like biofeedback devices to observe physiological states, bridging body and mind awareness. Practice. Use wearable devices or apps that track heart rate variability as you meditate, enhancing your capacity to regulate stress. Benefit. This evidence-based approach reinforces mindfulness practice and deepens self-regulation. 8. The power of patience and continuous practice. Transformation is a gradual process. The Buddha likened enlightenment to the slow growth of a lotus flower, unfolding petal by petal. Practice. Approach your journey with kindness and patience. Celebrate small victories and learn from setbacks. Reminder, as the Buddha said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. By adopting these practices, you embody the teachings, weaving wisdom into the fabric of everyday life. You cultivate a sanctuary of peace within, unshaken by external turbulence. The turning point, embracing change and finding lasting peace. In the unfolding story of life, there often comes a moment of profound challenge, a crossroads where old habits, fears, and attachments rise fiercely to test the strength of our inner transformation. Our protagonist, having walked the path of self-awareness and mindfulness, now encounters the storm. Life presents an unexpected hardship, a deep personal loss, a painful betrayal, or a daunting setback. The familiar tides of anger, fear, and despair surge, threatening to sweep away the hard-won calm. But this is the moment where true wisdom reveals itself. Facing the storm with mindful courage. Instead of succumbing to reactive impulses, our protagonist pauses. Breathing deeply, they call upon the teachings embraced along the journey. The impermanence of all things reminds them that pain, too, will pass. The practice of non-attachment frees them from clinging to what has been lost. Compassion towards themselves softens the harsh judgment of, "I shouldn't feel this way." Mindfulness offers a spaciousness, observing emotions without being overwhelmed. This intentional pause creates a sacred space for healing. A story of transformation. Consider the story of Kisa Gautami, a woman in the Buddha's time who lost her child and was overwhelmed by grief. Desperate, she sought a cure for death itself. The Buddha instructed her to find a mustard seed from a household untouched by loss. Of course, no such household existed. Through this, Kisa Gautami recognized that suffering is universal and impermanent. She let go of her exclusive grief and found peace in shared humanity and acceptance. Similarly, our protagonist understands that their suffering, while deeply personal, connects them to the larger web of human experience. This awareness transforms isolation into compassion and despair into resilience. Integration of science and spirit. Modern neuroscience tells us that the brain's plasticity allows for healing even after trauma. Mindfulness and compassion practices reduce activity in the amygdala, the seat of fear and anger, while strengthening the prefrontal cortex, which governs regulation and insight. Our protagonist's consistent practice rewires their neural pathways. This scientific understanding supports what ancient wisdom taught. Suffering can be transformed through conscious awareness, emerging renewed. Through this crucible, the protagonist emerges changed, not untouched by pain, but deeply connected to peace. They embody a serene strength, able to hold life's paradoxes with grace. Relationships once strained begin to mend as patience and empathy replace judgment. The daily practices of mindfulness and loving-kindness become pillars sustaining their well-being. The world around them remains unpredictable, but their inner landscape is a sanctuary. A message for all of us. This story is not just theirs, it is ours. Each of us faces storms, moments where old reactions threaten to pull us into chaos. But within us lies the power to choose differently. The journey from turmoil to tranquility is possible, step by step, breath by breath. Closing reflection. As a student and teacher of Buddhist philosophy and modern science, I invite you to see yourself in this journey. The path is not linear nor easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. May this turning point inspire you to welcome challenges as opportunities for growth, and to find peace not by avoiding suffering, but by meeting it with courage and compassion. the path forward with wisdom and compassion. As we draw this journey to a close, let us reflect on the timeless wisdom we have explored, a wisdom that marries the profound teachings of the Buddha with the illuminating insights of modern science. We have seen how the human mind, though prone to turbulence, holds an infinite capacity for peace when nurtured with mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness. We have walked through the challenges of attachment, anger, fear, and judgment, and discovered practical, heart-centered tools to transform these obstacles into opportunities for growth. Remember, true freedom arises not from external circumstances, but from the gentle yet steadfast cultivation of inner calm and clarity. Key takeaways. Awareness is the foundation. Observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment empowers us to respond wisely rather than react impulsively. Compassion heals. Extending kindness to ourselves and others dissolves barriers of isolation and fear. Impermanence teaches us to let go. Embracing the transient nature of life lightens our burdens and opens us to joy. Personal growth is a continuous journey. Patience and consistent practice deepen our resilience and nurture lasting peace. A gentle invitation. I invite you to take these teachings into your daily life, to integrate mindfulness and compassion into every moment, whether calm or challenging. Begin with small, deliberate steps, a mindful breath, a kind thought, a moment of stillness. Allow yourself the grace to grow gently, without haste or judgment. Join our community. If this video has touched your heart or sparked a new awareness, please like, share, and subscribe to Mindfulness.Serenity, a space dedicated to nurturing inner peace and wisdom through the beautiful union of ancient philosophy and modern understanding. Share your reflections or questions in the comments below. Your voice enriches our shared journey. Final thought. May you walk your path with courage, kindness, and clarity. May your heart remain open, your mind steady, and your spirit free. Remember, the calm you seek is already within you, waiting patiently to guide you home. Thank you for being here today. Until next time, be well, be mindful, and be peaceful.